Have you ever felt that sudden, sinking feeling when you're out to dinner by yourself? Or when Friday night hits and your phone doesn't buzz, and for a split second, you feel wrong, like you're missing out? We live in a world that sells us the idea that being alone is a deficit, that if you aren't surrounded by people, you're failing at life. But what if I told you that your inability to be alone is actually the single biggest thing holding you back from your true potential? Today, I'm going to show you how to stop running from silence and instead turn your alone time into your greatest competitive advantage. We are addicted to noise, whether it's social media, podcasts, or background TV. We fill every quiet moment because we're terrified of what we'll hear when the volume drops. That voice in your head, the one that asks, "Am I enough?" Or, "What am I doing with my life?" Loneliness is a craving for external validation. Solitude is the presence of your own company. You aren't lonely, you're just withdrawing from a substance you've relied on too long. The distraction of others. Solitude isn't about being antisocial, it's about being pro-self. Think about the most creative, powerful people in history. They didn't achieve greatness by being constantly on in the public eye. They retreated. They sat with their thoughts. Use your alone time as a laboratory. Instead of defaulting to the endless scroll, I want you to treat your alone time as an observational study of your own life. When you pick up your phone, you are immediately entering a feedback loop created by someone else, their opinions, their humor, their drama. But when you put the phone down, you have the unique opportunity to become an observer of your own patterns. Most of us move through our days on autopilot. We react to stress in the same way. We get irritated by the same triggers, and we crave the same distractions without ever stopping to ask why. Use your solitude to play the role of a detective investigating yourself. Ask yourself, when do I feel the most anxious? Is it when I'm actually alone, or is it when I'm afraid of what other people might think of me? What topics or conversations consistently leave me drained versus energized? What is the specific itch I feel that makes me reach for my phone? Is it boredom? Is it a fear of missing out, or is it a genuine fear of sitting with my own thoughts? When you observe these patterns without judgment, you stop being a victim of your habits and start becoming the architect of your reactions. You'll begin to notice that you don't actually need the noise. You've just developed a reflex to seek it. By consciously choosing to observe your inner landscape instead of consuming digital content, you start to reclaim your focus. You move from a state of mindless reaction to a state of conscious intention. You are no longer just letting life happen to you. You are learning how your mind works, how your emotions fluctuate, and ultimately, how to guide yourself toward the version of you that is comfortable in any room, especially a quiet one. I want to challenge you to try this exactly once this week. Don't do it on the weekend. Do it during the busiest day of your week. People often think they don't have time for this, but the truth is, you don't have time not to do this. If you're feeling burned out, this hour is the best investment you can make in your own sanity. Stick around, because in the next section, I'm going to show you how to take this same energy into a social setting without losing your peace. Instead of needing a sound, listen to your own intuition. When you stop seeking approval from others, you start setting standards for yourself. We are conditioned to believe that life requires a soundtrack, that silence is empty and must be filled. We fill it with podcasts, music, and the opinions of others, often turning the volume up so high that we drown out the quiet, consistent hum of our own intuition. But here is the truth. Your intuition doesn't shout. It whispers. It only speaks when the noise around you finally settles. When you stop needing a constant stream of external input, you start hearing your own internal compass. Think about the last time you made a decision based on what everyone else was doing or saying. You might have felt secure in the moment, but did you feel fulfilled? Often, the friction we feel in life comes from trying to follow someone else's map because we were too afraid to look at our own. If this feels uncomfortable, good. Growth happens in the discomfort. Here are 3 ways to start building your solitude muscle. The 0 distraction hour. Once a week, put your phone in a drawer. Do not read, do not watch, do not listen. Just sit, walk, or clean. Let your mind wander. The 0 distraction hour is not meant to be a test of endurance or a session of forced meditation. It is an intentional act of reclamation. Most of us go from the moment we wake up until the moment we fall asleep with a constant stream of external input, notifications, emails, music, opinions, and endless digital noise. We have effectively outsourced our internal lives to the devices in our pockets. Let your mind wander exactly where it wants to go. Don't try to solve problems or analyze your life. Just let the thoughts drift. Initially, you will feel restless. You will feel an itch to check your phone or to get something done. Acknowledge that feeling. That is the exact moment you are breaking your dependency. By sitting through that discomfort, you are teaching your nervous system that you are safe in your own company. You are proving to yourself that you don't need a distraction to exist, and that in the quiet, you are not just capable of surviving, you are capable of thinking for yourself. The solo date. Take yourself to a movie or a coffee shop. See how long you can sit without pulling out your phone. Challenge yourself to just observe the world. The solo date is your training ground for confidence. It is a direct confrontation with the social anxiety that tells us we need a companion to be worthy of taking up space in public. Most people avoid going to a movie or a coffee shop alone because they fear the judgment of others, the worry that you look lonely, or that you have nowhere better to be. But the moment you walk through that door alone, you are making a powerful statement. You are choosing your own company over the comfort of a crutch. When you sit down in that coffee shop or theater, the initial urge will be to reach for your phone. It is our universal safety blanket, the digital pacifier we use to signal to the world, I'm not alone, I'm busy, or I have somewhere to be. Today, you are going to resist that reflex. Keep your phone tucked away. You will feel a heightened sense of self-consciousness at first. It's natural to feel like everyone is watching you. But you will quickly realize something liberating. Nobody is watching. People are far too preoccupied with their own lives, their own anxieties, and their own phones to care that you are enjoying a coffee by yourself. As the minutes pass, you will experience a shift from feeling alone to feeling at ease. You are essentially learning to host yourself. You are treating yourself to an experience without requiring an audience to validate that experience. When you can sit in a crowded room, completely disconnected from the digital world and perfectly content with your own thoughts, you unlock a level of poise that most people never achieve. You stop being a person who needs others to fill their time, and you become someone who is comfortable simply existing in the world. That is not just a date, it is an act of reclaiming your autonomy. Audit your inner circle. Realize that being comfortable alone makes you more selective about who you spend your time with. You'll stop accepting energy that doesn't serve you. The final step in mastering your solitude is recognizing how it transforms your relationships. When you spend your life terrified of being alone, you act from a place of scarcity. You cling to people who drain you. You tolerate disrespect, and you compromise your boundaries, all because you believe that having anyone in your orbit is better than having no one. You are essentially trading your peace of mind for the illusion of companionship. When you become comfortable alone, that dynamic undergoes a total reversal. Your solitude becomes a high-quality filter. Because you have learned to enjoy your own company, you no longer need others to rescue you from the void of boredom or the ache of loneliness. And when the need for companionship evaporates, the desperation to please others goes with it. This is where you begin to audit your inner circle with brutal, necessary honesty. You start to notice the energy exchange in your relationships. You realize that some people don't actually add to your life. They just subtract from your reserve of energy. You see the friends who only call when they need a favor, the acquaintances who thrive on gossip, and the people who consistently make you feel small or anxious. When you are secure in your own company, you stop viewing these relationships as lifelines and start viewing them as choices. You become much more selective, not because you've become cold or antisocial, but because you finally value your time and your emotional bandwidth as the finite, precious resources they are. You'll find that you are no longer afraid to walk away from connections that don't serve your growth. You'd rather spend a Friday night alone, reading a book or working on a goal that excites you, than spend it in a crowded room with people who leave you feeling more depleted than before. This selective approach isn't about isolation, it's about alignment. By creating space for yourself, you naturally make room for the right people. Those who respect your boundaries, who inspire you, and who value your presence rather than just consuming your time. You don't build a better circle by chasing people. You build a better circle by becoming the kind of person who is perfectly happy on their own, and then inviting only those who genuinely deserve your time to share in your life. When you can finally be happy in your own company, you become invincible. You no longer move through the world looking for someone to fill your gaps. You move with purpose because you know exactly who you are. I want to challenge you. Comment below with one thing you're going to do this week in total solitude, without your phone. Let's own our silence. If this helped you, hit that subscribe button for more content on building a stronger mindset. You are not alone in this journey, you're just learning to be strong on your own. If you found this helpful, subscribe to Liv.eanyway for your daily dose of motivation.